England begins the Thomas Tuchel era with a 2-0 win over Albania in World Cup qualifying. Teenager Myles Lewis-Skelly made a memorable senior international debut, scoring the opening goal before captain Harry Kane netted his 70th international goal to secure the victory. Key takeaways from Tuchel's first match as England manager. Thomas Tuchel commends debutant Lewis-Skelly's performance. By Emlyn Begley, BBC Sport journalist. England kicked off the Thomas Tuchel era with a 2-0 triumph over Albania in their World Cup qualification campaign. Myles Lewis-Skelly, making his senior debut, found the net before Harry Kane sealed the result with his 70th international goal. BBC Sport breaks down the main discussion points from the game. First impressions of Tuchel's England team. Before the match, Tuchel made headlines by stating that England had played with fear during Euro 2024 under Gareth Southgate. He also emphasized his desire for a more physical, Premier League-style approach. Known for his tactical adaptability, it was unclear which formation Tuchel would choose. He ultimately deployed a 4-2-3-1 system. While Tuchel's teams are typically recognized for their high-intensity pressing, England found it challenging to impose that style against Albania's deep defensive setup, particularly in the first half. Tuchel has only had the squad for 3 days. You can't expect drastic changes overnight, said former England midfielder Leon Osman on BBC Radio 5 Live. We won the game. Once we took the lead, there was no real urgency. Fans want to be entertained, but there's also value in controlling a match, especially in tournament play. Right now, we're not in a tournament, so people expect more excitement. England dominated possession with 74% and recorded 12 shots compared to Albania's 3. The hosts registered all 6 of their efforts on target. In the first half alone, England completed 437 passes, the highest recorded by Opta in any first half of an England match. Albania showed more intent after halftime, but England's defense was only tested a few times, notably by substitute Armando Broja. The result was routine regardless of the new manager. England remains unbeaten in 38 consecutive home qualifiers for the World Cup and Euros since November 2007, winning 34 of them. From a spectator's point of view, it wasn't the most thrilling game, said former England defender Matt Upson on BBC Radio 5 Live. Once England settled into their rhythm, it became a familiar pattern, dominating possession against a defensively compact opponent, struggling to break them down. We're all eager to see how Tuchel's vision unfolds, but at the same time, the team had to manage the match effectively, and they did that well. Upson also suggested that Tuchel is still adjusting to how England will need to approach games against defensive opponents like Albania. The rise of Myles Lewis-Skelly. Just months ago, Arsenal left-back Lewis-Skelly, 18, was barely on England's radar. Before the September international break, he had not played a single senior professional match. However, he has since broken into Arsenal's first team, scored against Manchester City, and featured in 26 games, establishing himself as a regular, despite 2 red cards, one later overturned. It doesn't get much better than this, said former Arsenal defender Upson. The opportunity came at the right time, largely due to Arsenal's injury crisis. But he's made the most of it and proven he belongs at this level. Tuchel handed him his England debut, and he seized the moment. Playing in a modern fullback role, Lewis-Skelly was proactive, stepping into central midfield, getting forward, into attacking areas and ultimately scoring the opening goal. His strike, set up by Jude Bellingham's superb pass, saw him slot the ball through goalkeeper Thomas Strakosha's legs, making him England's 3rd youngest goal scorer ever, and the youngest to score on his debut. In the second half, he operated more as a number 8 or even a number 10, Tuchel noted. His best role is where he plays for Arsenal, in a double pivot midfield. Today, we opted for a more conventional setup to make things easier, as we're still in the early learning phase. Tuchel, who only met his players 4 days ago after officially taking over in January, is still laying the foundation for his tenure.